Jesus, there's so much Pokemon shit. This is what I get for procrastinating. Whatever. Hey, isn't there a Smash Fighter that's supposed to come out? Whatever happened with that? Oh, god damn it! Hello everyone, this is VGMaster2, and welcome back to another episode of me pretending that I actually made this video on schedule and didn't procrastinate for the millionth time. Today, I'm going to be talking about the presentation of the Arms Fighter that acts as DLC 6, technically 7, for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which took place on June 22nd. No, I didn't release this video over 3 months after this aired, don't even think about looking at that date. Now, in the last episode I talked about Smash, I had predicted that the ARMS character was going to be a combination of multiple characters, a la Bowser Jr. and Hero, predicting Springman, Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Min-Min, Twintelle, Springtron, Helix, and Dr. Coil. Depending on how true this is, the speculation scene is never gonna be the same. Well, there's no time like the present. Let's jump in and see how close my prediction was. The presentation actually doesn't begin at the reveal, but at the humble abode of series creator and director Masahiro Sakurai. Yes, instead of the studio we saw him in 4 times before, we get a surprisingly in-depth look at the man's house. Not gonna lie, this setup feels a lot nicer. I kinda prefer it to what we had before. Of course, the only reason we even get to see it is because, at this point, being around the beginning of May according to Sakurai, there was still a deadly virus to worry about, so chances are we won't be seeing this in all of the upcoming presentations, just this one and probably the next 2 others. No, I'm totally not saying that because I know what happens in the future. Don't be silly, I don't have future sight. After Sakurai explains to the audience what ARMS is, because Nintendo fans that follow the company's every move totally won't know what it is even though it was advertised up the ass as one of the first major Switch games, we finally get to the reveal trailer. Turns out the fighter is Min-Min. And only Min-Min. You know what? That's cool. I'm still not the happiest when it comes to the fact that Nintendo decided to take up a slot to self-promote their own mediocre game, but the moveset will definitely be unique, and having it be only one character instead of all of them greatly decreases the clutter. I'm not a huge fan of ARMS, but I do know a few of the characters, and out of them, I do have to say that Min-Min is my favorite. Her design is one of the better, more natural looking in the game, and she's got one of the best backstories. She's just a humble girl who enjoys working at her family's ramen shop. That's cute. Also, she's really popular. She's basically the tertiary mascot after Springman and Ribbon Girl, and even the fucking creators requested her as the Smash Fighter. Holy shit. So yeah, if there had to be an ARMS rep, I say she's the best pick. Finally, a decent decision. Now, Sakurai even mentions how a lot of people believe that Springman is the main protagonist of ARMS, so he should have been the one to get in. Apparently, according to the creator of the game, everyone's the protagonist, which, yes, but Springman is the primary mascot. Sakurai gives the second excuse that googling Springman gets you a net yield of a character from a different series, which kinda, but mostly no, actually. I think, now this is just speculation, that the actual reason is probably Springman is an assist trophy, and we didn't want all of that previous work to go to waste. But whatever. Really, if what Sakurai said about the creators wanting Min-Min is true and not an excuse, then I'm gonna be honest, that's kinda all the reason they need. Like I said, I like Min-Min, so I really don't care. Sakurai states that integrating the basic mechanics of ARMS into the mechanics of Smash was hard to do, which, yeah, makes sense, they're 2 different styles of fighting games. He then proceeds to show us how she works. In Smash, Min-Min has a different weapon for each of her 2 super long, slinky-like arms. Both of her arms can extend a similar but very far distance, and the weapons on her hands do different things. There's a boomerang-like ring, a heavy electricity-unleashing sphere, and a laser beam-firing dragon head. However, only her right hand can cycle through these weapons, as her left one only ever has the dragon one. Her main style of attacking is through punching and using her arm weapon, but she also has some kicks. Her main gimmick is that you can actually control each arm individually using a different button. You can actually use both of these buttons, the special and normal attack buttons, at once to use a super quick double punch. Gonna be honest, that's really interesting. For what it's worth, Sakurai really just seemed to be trying to make all these characters as unique as possible, even if the reasons they were selected are potentially suspicious. For Min Min's final smash, she summons a ton of other characters from ARMS to punch the living shit out of whoever was unfortunate enough to get caught in the inciting attack. The stage she comes with is Spring Stadium, which is exactly what it sounds like. However, unlike what happened with most of the stages in the first pass, this stage doesn't contain physical appearances from the other ARMS fighters. They only sometimes appear on the screens in the back. The stage includes 18 music tracks, which would be the most if not for Terry with his 50, but only 2 are new remixes. Now before I move on to the Mii costumes, which is honestly the most exciting part at this point, I feel like I should talk about the overall reaction to Min Min because, oh boy. On YouTube, most people couldn't give less of a shit that Min Min was the one chosen. You know, because YouTube, while still retarded, is still kinda smart. However, on Tumblr and Twitter, not so much. Now, most people know the score. Never listen to Tumblr and Twitter, ever. Do not trust them, ever. Do not give them an inch. They will take a mile and corrupt everything you've ever loved. Basically, there were 2 equally retarded camps on Twitter and Tumblr when Min Min was revealed. One that was obsessed with her race and upset she wasn't black, which doesn't matter. And one that was obsessed with her sex and were happy because she's a woman, which also doesn't matter, and even if it did, she's not even the first woman to be DLC for this game, let alone in the whole series. And, like I said, both of these camps are retarded because the race and sex of anyone, let alone fictional characters, does not matter. These people on these platforms don't like or dislike Min Min for her character, for who she is. They like or dislike Min Min for what she is, for the boxes she does or doesn't check, which is awful. I don't like Min Min because she's a woman. I don't like or dislike her because she does or doesn't check boxes. I like her because what her creators wrote as her character is interesting. But these people couldn't actually be bothered to see her character. They're too busy staring at her skin color and what's between her legs. Honestly, in this day and age, I'm surprised something like this hasn't happened sooner, but it's still terrible. Stop trying to force American identity politics into everything. You are only making everything worse. However, there is an actually series important thing that Min Min's inclusion reveals. You see, Min Min was one of the ARMS characters that was featured as a spirit in the base game. Therefore, her inclusion reveals that spirits, at least those in the game at launch, are able to be promoted. Now, a ton of people are happy about this and parading around saying, "We finally beat a stupid rule! Take that, everyone who doubted! Your rules are worthless!" Now, while I would say that people who take fan rules as gospel are retarded, I would also argue that those rules aren't actually rules. You see, fan rules are kinda made for essentially 2 reasons. To come to a consensus about a few specific characters in order to rally behind them in hopes that that pushes the character to make it in, which wouldn't work in this case since the pass has already been decided, and also to keep expectations in check. I don't think people realize that, since base spirits no longer deconfirm, base spirits do not deconfirm. There are thousands of spirits in the base game alone. And now that Min Min has been revealed, the floodgates are open. Speculation is now hell because literally thousands of characters are more possible than ever, meaning that there is nothing keeping anyone's expectations in check. Sure, that might be good in terms that means we'll all be surprised with the other choices maybe, but it also means that retards saying retarded things won't be able to be argued against because they'll claim equal footing because base spirits don't deconfirm. I mean, maybe the community will be smarter than that, but what are the chances? Anyway, let's get into the Mii costumes before my brain explodes. First up is a costume for Ninjara, the ARMS character that apparently Sakurai was considering making the fighter before the creators told him Min Min. The next three are returning costumes from Smash 4, Heihachi from Tekken, and Callie and Marie from Splatoon. This pack also comes with another, what the fans call, deluxe Mii costume, this time being Vault Boy from Fallout of all things, and he doesn't even come with a song. So, remember how, in the last Smash video, I talked about how there were a few companies that I didn't want to be given things because they did shitty things and should be getting punished instead of rewarded? Yeah, Bethesda was one of them. Why? Well, with Fallout 76 alone, they rushed it to the point of it being so bad upon release that they put it on sale within its first week, promised that they wouldn't put anything in the microtransactions section that had a function in-game that wasn't purely cosmetic, before doing a complete 180 and making people pay for functioning items that the fans literally requested, created faulty merch that could gather mold, which can be deadly, banned players who were trying to improve the game, failed to properly code the game to the point that people could steal each other's shit, and also had a glitch in a patch that broke people's shit, created a subscription service option that cost $100 for a year, which didn't even work when it came out, made a battle pass on top of that, and probably more. Yeah, suffice to say, they fucked up. So why is Nintendo rewarding them? Well, probably it has something to do with Nintendo also being a shitty company and not caring about shit when money's involved, but that's still shit. Anyways, Min Min is slated to come out on June 29th, and oh, would you look at that, I'm half a year late. Yeah, so I'm just gonna end it there. I'm VG Master 2, and I have a fuck ton of things to catch up on.